Hello traders and investors. This is a Bitcoin technical analysis video. Today is June 12th. Today we have quite a few fundamental announcements: the inflation rate, core inflation rate, interest rate decision, and the dot plot, which is a projection of future possible rate cuts. What you need to know about fundamental news and about fundamental announcements, that by themselves they mean nothing. They only serve as cover for the market maker to move the markets. And what moves the market is liquidity. The question is, where is the liquidity in the chart? Because the liquidity is like water. That's why it's called liquidity. It moves in the through the path of least resistance. So we need to ask ourselves, where is the liquidity in this chart, and what's easier for the market maker? In my opinion, this is a distribution schematic, and the liquidity is to the downside, and this is the path that the price will follow. So far, my projection from the previous video is working perfectly. Bitcoin lost the trend line. What remains to be seen right now is, will the market maker sweep the liquidity from the upside before going down, yes or no? What we have here is a 4-hour supply zone between 69K and 70K 200, which will also constitute a retest of this trend line as resistance. I think it's extremely likely that we will first move to the upside before moving to the downside. Where to? Initially, I'm expecting this supply zone, but an uptrust after distribution is not out of the question. It all depends on the kind of news we will hear today, because let's just assume that the Fed announces a rate cut, or maybe not a rate cut today, but a projection of a rate cut. I think it will influence price in the short term to the upside, because the uninformed trader or investor thinks that rate cuts are good for the markets. The truth of the matter is that rate cuts are good for the market only in the short term, not in the long term, because in the short term, what a rate cut means is that the Federal Reserve is actually admitting that the market is in recession. What happens with recessions? Unemployment, and unemployed people, the first thing they do is dig into their savings. So they take out the money they had in Bitcoin or the money they had in stocks and use it to get by, to pay for utilities, to pay for electricity, and to buy shoes for their children. So eventually, in a recession, the liquidity dries up and the markets move lower. An announcement of a rate cut maybe will take prices higher, but it's a short-term move, because the informed traders, the institutions, they know very well, they have plenty of PhDs working for them. They know very well that recession eventually means that the liquidity is going to dry up. So maybe they will sweep the markets higher to sell high, but eventually the market will go low. Okay, so currently my projection stands: at least a retest of the trend line and continuation to the downside, eventually, initially, let's say, to the range low, but possibly even lower, as low as 52K. That's all I have for you on Bitcoin. I hope it helps, and I will see you in the next video.